Today we're learning a trick called ADHD. It looks like this. First step, you're going to throw a trapeze. Step number 2, you're going to take your throw hand and
curl it towards your body
around your thumb and middle finger, and then pull the string apart like this. Step number 3, you're going to use your non-throw hand and spread your trapeze mount apart, and then start to bring your hands closer together. Step number 4, you're going to reach through your trapeze with your thumb and pointer finger on your non-throw hand and grab the string that is spread between your throw hand, thumb, and middle finger. You're going to reach through, grab that string, and then pull it through your trapeze mount. Make sure to keep your throw hand fingers spread apart to create the necessary tension for your fake knot that's coming later in the trick. Your trapeze mount is now held up by this kink that was created with the string that was connected to your throw hand pulled through your trapeze mount. Using your non-throw hand, kind of lift it up and then slide that kinked piece of string as close as you can get it all the way to your throw hand. This might also take some adjustment with your throw hand, as you could see me kind of flexing it back and forth as well to get it as close as that kink can possibly go to your throw hand. To hop out to the fake knot, you need to do a couple steps simultaneously, which we're going to go over one by one. You're going to hop the yo-yo out the front of the mount and then toward your throw hand like so. Aiming your yo-yo toward your throw hand is going to give you more room, so when we go to bounce your yo-yo later, you have more room. Step number 8, once your yo-yo has a bit of hang time, as you're hopping it out of the mount, you want to gently pull your hands apart so that way you create this fake knot that's in the middle of your string. If you don't pull your hands apart, it's going to leave this piece of slack and it's going to create a crazy mess that's a lot harder to get out of. So once you combine all those steps, your yo-yo will look like it's in a trapeze mount, but if you look really close, you're going to have this fake knot in the middle of the trapeze, and that's what you're going to hop the yo-yo back and forth over. You're also going to, with your non-throw hand, use your index finger and thumb to pinch the trapeze mount, so that way you have some leverage to bounce the yo-yo. Because if you don't pinch with your non-throw hand, it's going to tighten the fake knot very quickly and you're not going to be able to hop the yo-yo back and forth at all. So using your hands, you're going to bounce the yo-yo back and forth, left and right, and slightly up and down. This is going to lead off with your throw hand since it's closest to the yo-yo, and that's what's going to start the hop over the fake knot. And then once you're over on the side closest to your non-throw hand, you're going to bounce it back over the fake knot towards your throw hand. ADHD is like a 25-year-old yo-yo trick, so people have found all sorts of cool ways to bounce the yo-yo around, so feel free to experiment and get freaky with it. Just keep in mind that as you start to move your yo-yo around, that fake knot is going to get smaller and smaller towards your non-throw hand, and eventually you won't have any room to move the yo-yo, and that's kind of when your trick is going to come to an end. So to exit ADHD, what we're going to do is start to bounce the yo-yo over top of our throw hand, kind of like we're throwing a breakaway, and then simultaneously curl our non-throw hand index finger and release the fake knot. You're going to kind of pull with your throw hand to get that fake knot out, mount it in a trapeze, and bind your yo-yo back, and that is ADHD. Some of the problems you can run into while learning ADHD is if you bounce your yo-yo out too early. See how much string there is that connects to my yo-yo. It's really big. It's going to make it a lot harder to create that effect of bouncing it back and forth. So to fix this, you just want to make sure that when you are creating that fake knot, you're getting the yo-yo as close as you can to your throw hand. And that when you bounce it out, the string is nice and short and it creates that fun little bouncing effect. Another thing that could happen with learning ADHD is if you bounce it out and the fake knot is too close to your non-throw hand. And again, that's going to make it really difficult to create the bouncing effect that really makes ADHD a cool trick. Again, the solution to that is to get the yo-yo as close as you possibly can to your throw hand. Most of the issues with ADHD is getting the yo-yo really close to your throw hand to make the string really short, and then that gives you the proper effect to bounce the yo-yo back and forth like so. Remember, this is a fake knot trick, so as you're doing ADHD, if your knot won't release after you're done bouncing your yo-yo back and forth, there's several reasons why that could happen. The first and foremost, I would guess, being that your string is probably a little older and maybe a little dirtier than it should be. If you look really close at your string and it's starting to fray too much around the outside of the string, that could make it a little bit harder for the knot to come free, because believe it or not, those little tiny, they look like almost microscopic pieces of string that are hanging off the edge of the string. Those can get caught and it can make it really difficult for the yo-yo to release out of the knot. See, if I don't really pull this right here, it'll get stuck. Another reason your knot might not come out the cleanest is if when you bounce the yo-yo out of your initial mount and you're not evenly pulling between your hands, like if you pull too tight on either hand, that's gonna create a really tight fake knot. And even though you might be able to do the ADD trick, it's gonna be a lot harder for the knot to come out. So again, remember, you want to apply a pretty even amount of pressure between both hands as you're hopping your yo-yo out to create not the tightest fake knot, but tight enough that you can bounce your yo-yo back and forth. And then as you drop your yo-yo, the knot cleanly releases and comes undone. And the last reason why your ADHD knot might not come out is if your string is too thick, which I know some of the specialty string brands are formulated to be very thick to make it easier to bind, because the yo-yo gaps are so wide it makes it easier, which is awesome, and I also like those strings sometimes too, but they do make it difficult for fake knots to come out if you know other fake knot tricks. So just keep that in mind when you're learning this trick, to maybe switch to just a regular thickness string just to learn ADD with and get comfortable with it. And then once you kind of perfect all the movements, maybe you can try the thicker string again, and once you've perfected it all, the knot will cleanly come out. I'm World Yo-Yo Champion Tyler Severance, and that was ADHD.